Welcome back. I'm Pete, and you're watching the Custom Car Channel. But we're going to work on a Bobcat today, and it's going to be awesome. Since this one's a Silverado, maybe you guys could just call me the Silverado man. I'm going to start to work on the Ranger. I want to finish up this hood tonight, so I did put some PVC cement on this, and it feels like it's bonded in there pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but anyways, so I'm done on this backside. I think what I want to do is weld this crack a little bit. We're going to leave this one. This one's, nicely together. But I'm going to sand on here a little bit. And then I borrowed a plastic welder from my brother. He's an auto body technician. He doesn't do it much anymore, but he does like restoration jobs in his shop and once in a while. He's pretty good at it. So I think and I didn't learn very much from him, but he could weld this easily. So I got his plastic welder. I don't know, it's this number. It's pretty old. But anyway, so I'm gonna sand this up a little bit. And then so I think we got to get the paint off there to weld it. So then I think we'll once it's welded, I'll grind it down smooth, and then I'm gonna put some. I decided on the lighter silver carbon fiber. And you're asking me, why am I fixing this hood when I'm going to change it back to the Ranger? It's because I'm going to sell all this stuff. I'll tell them it was cracked. Well, it's going to see, they'll see it's cracked, but it's still in good enough shape to put on somebody's Razor. So, I'm gonna get sanding. Whoops, I got a little far out there. I think I'm going to get that plastic welder warming up. So while this is warming up, I'm going to decide what rod I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use some kind of a black rod. So maybe we'll use this. There's a lot of this stuff. I'm not sure what this is. It's some type of universal. I don't know if I can get the... So it's a uni weld. So I'm going to try this and see what that does. Maybe I can't. This stuff is not in rods. This is a flat stuff. I'm not sure if I've never used this machine before, but I've seen my brother do it once, many years ago. I'd like to have maybe a round. So here's some round rod. It's a polypropylene. Oh. Anyways, with the round rod, you could stick it in the little hole and kind of feed it in as you go. And we'll just let this warm up a little bit. All right, guys. I think I'm about ready. That's warming up. It's kind of smoking a little bit. I also wanted to say thanks to Jeff's Garage Adventures. He gave me a shout out. I don't know, it's a couple weeks ago, and I just haven't been doing very good on my videos lately, but I just wanted to say thanks to Jeff, and he's got a nice channel. He does tool reviews, and his channel's really growing, so he likes to give something away every couple weeks or maybe every week, a tool. So it's a great channel. You just have to subscribe and then comment on one of the tool videos, or maybe it's the one where you win the tool. You have to comment on that, and then he'll draw your name. Oh, you have to be subscribed too. So, yeah. And he says he does all his videos unedited. And that's just too hard for me. If I did my videos unedited, they could be like 6 hours long, so. Alright. Maybe we will try this universal stuff. And I'll just push some in a little bit if we need to. But I think I'm actually going to sit on my chair a little bit. So I'll get you guys down here. I don't want to get out the Bondo. I really don't want to get out the Bondo. But I do know we gotta melt it in. Now we can grind it down if we need to. I think I need to melt it in just a little bit farther. It is melting in. I can't go too far because of the staples. So maybe if I just build it up with enough plastic. And smooth it with this, we won't have to do any Bondo. I think we need a little more down in here. Maybe I can try to push it that way. Yeah. So if this is built up, we can just sand this down. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect either. And we welded it with staples on the other side, so. As long as I build it in there a little bit, I think we'll be just fine. It almost acts like I'm not hot enough. I am melting in. I don't know if it's working. I really don't want to melt it in too much. I can see why this tool works is because if I did some body work on this, I'd be able to make it so you couldn't see this crack at all. And I think like the plastics on cars are a lot thicker. Maybe not. It seems to be working. This almost feels like a... No, it's working. Maybe feels a little bit softer than the original, but, you know, I don't know. And I'm going to be really careful when I get to this corner. I really don't want to mess up the corner. Maybe we'll start with the corner a little bit right now. Right by the edge. I don't want to mess with that. That crack could just stay there a little bit. Alright, now I'm just going to put a little bit more on here, and I'm just going to try to smooth that all in. I've melted it all in, but it's not in very deep. Okay, I think we need to let that harden up and then sand it off and see if we got to fill in any little spots here and there. Yeah, it's kind of warm. I'll go get the temp gun. So like I should be able to measure this black. Yeah, 65. 113. So yeah, we're gonna let it cool down to 65. So I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, that's cooled down enough for me. Let's see if I can sand that off. This is a headlight buffer. Is originally what this stuff is for. It's an AC Delco. I think it's like 12 volts. I do have a DA sander, but I don't want to pull it out. This feels like 120. I don't know if we could wet sand this a little bit. Let's try it. Yeah, I think that's good enough for me. Let's clean this up and put some vinyl wrap on there, should we? So I got some cleaner. It's a little water. Still dirty. Alright, I'm going to get ready to put some vinyl wrap on there. I'm going to clean up some of this stuff. We don't need any more of that. That plastic weld. The plastic weld job I did, it's just not too bad. It's a little low right there, but... And I tried to keep this, I don't know if we kept this line in there or not, but... Yeah, that's pretty mint. I showed you before that I just bought. I actually had this and I didn't even know it. This is the one I said I was going to use. But it's a little dark. And since I have this one, I'm going to use this one. I don't care about this thing. And then later on I do have some orange carbon fiber for the custom car. Alright guys, since this ain't wide enough, this is only 12 inches wide. We're going to find the center of this hood, and we're going to split the line right through here. So I'm going to do this whole upper area. And I know I've cut off this before, but it must have been on this end. I don't see where I cut it before. I must have done a really good job. So I guess the first thing we need to do, so we need to find the center of this hood. And you know, I can kind of see it. Like right there. But I really can't see it in the back. So, it's right here. So it's going to be somewhere right in there. So we'll try to measure it. So I'll just put a mark here. I don't like this tape. I'm going to get something else. Alright, I went and found something. This is a little more flexible. So I'm just going to line it up the same spot. It looks like it's at... I can't even see it. So I'm going to put a mark. I'm going to line it up here. Put a mark at 9.5. Then I'm going to put a mark over here at 9.5. And do the same thing. So that puts the center, that puts our center right here. Alright, so you see what I did there. Next, we're going to kind of cut this piece of vinyl to the right length. And we're not going to have enough. So, well, hopefully that other silver is the same. You know, maybe we will have to use this one. It should be 60 inches. Are we over 60 inches from there to... Is that over 30? It must be. I don't like how they roll these. I bought these on Amazon. I don't like how they roll them. See what happens? It gets a little bubble in it. Like the vinyl cutter, that sucks. Alright, so we'll use this stuff. Since there's enough of it. So right there, now we need to cut this straight. Alright, let's figure out where we gotta cut this exactly. I'm gonna put a mark down here. It's right there. I'm gonna set this up in this cutter. See, it all wants to roll back together. So here's one piece. Hopefully this other piece will be long enough. Wow, this bites. Yes, it's long enough. Alright, so we made that. The old stuff that I had, we'll just have to save that for another day. And I didn't even know I had it, but we needed the new stuff anyway, so there you go. Well, I knew I had some, I didn't know I had this much. Alright, let's get ready to put that on there. I'm going to move you guys back. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. Looks like it'd be easier to start with this end. I think what I'll do is I'll tape it. Yeah, that's long enough. So next what I'll do, so we're going to want to, at least for me, I'm an amateur, so we're going to want to put some, I use some Dawn and water. Well, this is just the stuff I use here to check for tire leaks. You know, if you got a nail in your tire. It's got a lot of soap in it. But that's okay, because I did the entire Jeep. I can do it. So the first thing we want to do, or the next thing, we want to get some of this under here. So now, we're just going to start on this end. And we'll just stick it just right in the center. And we want to get all this off. And it got wet on me. see we're not in the center over here, so now we're going to grab it. That's why we put the water down, or the soapy water. Now what we want to do is line up that center marks. And I can kind of use the star. So right in there. Now what we want to do, we just want to work out all that water and get her to stick on there again. So I have a whole kit of stuff here for putting on vinyl graphics. A couple different squeegees. Oh boy. Well, my one squeegee ain't in there. I'm gonna go look for it in a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, so I found that other little squeegee. It's a spot putty squeegee. And sometimes this works, sometimes it don't. But I got all these other ones. So what we want to do, I think what we want to do is we want to get it centered first. It may not be enough. There we go. We also want to get it centered down here at the bottom. I don't know how it's going to turn out because it's shorter on this side. But I'll do the best I can. So I can feel the Polaris letters. That's good because I want to trace them out with a X-Acto knife. Alright guys, you get the idea. I'm going to come back on when I'm done. Hey guys, I got the hood done. It did take me all night and a few hours this morning, and then the parting line, I did have to put a little piece of silver on there. And that's just a little piece of vinyl that I cut. I have a whole box of pinstriping somewhere, but I can't find it. And then I cut out all the letters, and I even put the vinyl, I wrapped it all the way around I wrapped it around all the accent markings and stuff, and there's still a couple little air bubbles in there, but they'll come out when it hits the sun. This is not an air release vinyl, so yeah, I guess I'm happy with it. It doesn't, you could just barely see that little crack that I welded through the vinyl. I mean, it's kind of a, but anyway, that'll work for me for now until we get the Ranger front end. I do got to straighten it out, and it's kind of crooked, and it's barely even mounted on there. Well, I don't even think it is mounted on there. Alright, so that's going to be today's video, and I'm going to try to get it uploaded. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and you can catch me next time. We'll see you later.